Alright, hey everyone. Today we're going to talk about the best early game food that you could eat for restoring HP so far in Tower Fantasy. There are a couple of options for what you might want to use. I would like to preface this by saying if you have insane heals, you probably won't need this as much, but it's always good to have backup food anyway. If we look at my character, just to preface this, I don't really have any heals, right? I have 2 Humas, 2 Merrills, Crow, and then I also have King. Don't really have any good heals, so having good food is a bonus, and it's more useful for me than it might be for you if you have good heals, but it's good to have. So there are a couple of options that we have depending on how much farming you want to do for ingredients. We'll have a couple of the purples that are good for food, and then there's one blue one that's really easy to farm, which I'll show after we go over the main ones. Pretty much all of the purple foods, there's 3 right now that we know about. Snow lotus soup, nut tea, and caterpillar fungus noodles are all good. They all restore 20% of your max HP and then plus 60,000. Now, the snow lotus soup is the easiest to craft, but I can't recommend it because it regens stamina as opposed to satiety, so just kind of annoying. You want to be able to restore both of your satiety and HP just so you don't have to worry about it. So if you have materials for that, go ahead and make them because it's still good heals. Just know that you're not restoring your satiety. So the best ones are going to be your nut tea and then caterpillar fungus noodles. Nut tea taking 1 hazelnut, 2 pine cone, 2 honey, and caterpillar fungus noodles taking 1 caterpillar fungus and 3 brown rice. As far as unlocking recipes, if you know this, don't worry about it, but if you don't, you just gotta go to creation here, put in the materials for the recipe, and then you'll unlock it. So for example, if we're gonna do nut tea, you would put in 1 hazelnut, 2 pine cone, and then 2 honey, and then fill it up with whatever you have the most of. Don't put in hazelnuts because you need those, and they're not a lot of those spawn in the map, so it just has to contain ingredients for the recipe. Another example, if we're doing caterpillar fungus, we would throw in 1 of these, right, and then the other ingredients brown rice, so we would do 14 of these. I already have the recipe unlocked, so I'm not going to do it, right? But then after this, you'll unlock the recipe, right? And you'll have it over here. So as far as farming ingredients for these, we're going to hop over to an interactive map just to show you why these ones are good. It's a combination of the fact that they heal the most HP right now out of all the foods we know about. It actually isn't too hard farming for them. All right, so here we are on an interactive map. You can just find these by Googling. There's a bunch of them. So if you look at the map, you'll see up in Warren, we have a bunch of pine cones and caterpillar fungi that you can farm together. So that's why these are good. So you can come up here, grab a bunch of these, and then also there aren't that many hazelnut spawns, but you can grab brown rice while you're grabbing these hazelnuts. And then honey, you'll have to go around finding these, Astra, some Banshees, right? And then if you have 0, you can do that AFK farm thing where you just sit and let your cubes hit the honey and the bees and farm honey. But if you don't have 0, you're gonna have to farm them. Yeah, so you can farm caterpillar fungus and pine cones, and then you can grab the brown rice and hazelnut tea while you're doing those. So that's good because you can farm all the materials. You can farm 2 materials at once for both of these areas, okay? All right, so back in the game, like I said, there aren't that many hazelnuts on the map, so you'll want to get all the hazelnuts, make as many of these as you want, and then you'll be able to make caterpillar fungus. All right, and that's pretty decent. 20% HP plus 60,000. That's gonna be your best bet for the game currently, I believe. Now, if you don't feel like doing all that farming and running around the map, there is an alternative. So lower than this, you can do steamed egg with sea urchin. This is a really easy farming for these compared to these. I mean, these 2 purples, it really isn't that bad. You should probably just do this, but if you don't feel like it, you can also do this as a secondary food. These sea urchins, these eggs, super easy. Whenever you're opening chests out in the world, make sure to pick up these eggs. As far as the sea urchins, we're gonna head there right now. All right, so for the steamed sea urchins, I shouldn't have to help you too much for the eggs. They're everywhere as you explore. The sea urchins will be in 2 main locations. They'll be right by this rune, BO2, west of Banshees. And then there's gonna be another area I'll show in a second. But if we come over here, just hop on our bike, you'll see there's a bunch of these to pick up in the water over here. And on the beach, see, there's a bunch up here. We can grab some in the water over here. And there's just a bunch around. So you see that there's quite a few of them that you can pick up. They go from here, watch out for the sandworm, about to right over here is where they end. And there's a bunch. So you can pick these up, and if the sandworm doesn't attack you, you can head over to the Omnium Tower up here in Crown. And for the second location, you can head up to the Omnium Tower in Crown and then head over to the beach down south, which will be this one along Crescent Shores. And there will be a bunch of sea urchins over here as well. All right, so we're down on the beach right at the beginning. You'll see that they're already starting over here. And as you head down the beach, you'll see even more. So plenty of materials, ingredients to farm You can just grab these, and a lot easier to farm, but they don't restore nearly as much HP, but they're still pretty decent. Okay, I would like to point out one last thing before anyone says it. There are blue rarity foods that heal more than this steamed egg with sea urchin. Okay, this is just the easiest farm I could find. There are foods of blue rarity that heal up to 34,000 HP, so look into those if that's something that you want. But this is meant to be like third on the list, backup, easy farm compared to the other ones. So just want to point that out. There are blue rarity foods that heal more, but a lot of them take items they have to buy from vendors. There aren't for all of them, just some of them do. Keep that in mind. There are blue rarity foods that do heal more. I have my reasons for listing this food in particular, okay? Cool, thank you. Just to reiterate, this is definitely useful for now. I don't know if there's gonna be better food in the future. I'm not sure. I didn't play CN. I didn't play the betas. I don't know what comes after this. For now, for early game, your nut tea is gonna be the best. After that, caterpillar fungus noodles. These both have the same stats: 20 satiety, 20% HP plus 60,000. These two, and then if you run out of materials or you need backup food, you can always go with a steamed egg with sea urchin, or as an alternative because it's a lot easier of a farm. Hope that made sense. Let me know if that helped. Let me know if I missed anything. As always, let me know if you have any suggestions. Lastly, remember to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mexu. Stream almost every night. I'll be streaming this game as well. And lastly, if you like the video, consider subscribing. Helps me out a lot. It lets me know that I'm doing something right. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.